White made a move. Queen takes e5. Pause the video to figure out black's next move. Queen takes e5. Pawn takes e5. Pawn takes c4. Pawn takes c4. Pawn f4. King f1. King g6. King e1. King f5. Black is planning to play king takes e5 and increase their advantage significantly. King d2 was chosen by white. King e4. Black is aiming to play king d4. Pawn g3. Pawn takes g3 and dominate the board. Pawn c5 was chosen by white. King takes e5. Pawn g3. Pawn takes g3. Pawn takes g3. King d4. King e2. King takes c5. King f2. White is on the verge of defeat. Let's go to the next game. Black just played Queen g6 check. Pause the video to find out white's response. King e3. Queen g3 check. King d2. Queen takes g2 check. Queen e2. Queen g5 check. King c2. Pawn f5. Queen d3. White is preparing to play pawn promotes to queen at d8 and dominate the board. Queen d8 was chosen by black. Queen takes f5 check. King g8. King d3. Pawn h5. King e4. Pawn h4. King d5. White considers playing King e6. Queen f5. King e7. Queen c7. Queen d5 check. King h7. King e8. Pawn g5. Queen f5 check and dominate the board. Pawn b4 move preferred by black. Pawn takes b4. Pawn g6. Queen takes g6 check. King f8. White is clearly ahead. Let's go to the next game. White just played Queen b4. Pause the video and try to predict black's next move. Queen takes b4 check. King takes b4. King f6. Pawn c4. Pawn e5. Pawn c5. White is planning to play pawn c6. King e6. Pawn h4. King d6. Pawn h5 and increase their advantage significantly. Pawn f4 move preferred by black. King c4. Pawn f3. Black might go for pawn f2. Pawn h4. King e6 and establish a winning position. King d3 was chosen by white. On the 5. Black intends to play pawn a4. Pawn c6. King e7. Pawn c7. King d7. Pawn g4. Pawn a3. King c2. King takes c7 and gain a significant edge. Pawn c6 played by white. White intends to play pawn c7. Pawn a4. Pawn promotes to queen at c8. Pawn a3. Queen f8 check and secure a stronghold in the game. King e7 move preferred by black. King e3. Pawn a4. King takes f3. Pawn a3. King e4. Pawn a2. Black considers playing pawn promotes to queen at a1 and sees the initiative. Pawn c7 move preferred by white. King d7. King takes e5. Pawn promotes to queen at a1 check. King e4. Black is clearly ahead. Let's go to the next game. White made a move. Queen c3 check. Pause the video and try to predict black's next move. Queen b3. Queen a5 check. Queen 4. Black might go for queen takes a5. Pawn f5. Pawn promotes to queen at b1. On f6. Queen a4 check. King f3. Queen f1 check. King g3. Queen a f4 mate, and take decisive advantage. Queen e1 move preferred by white. Queen c2. Queen e3 check. King b4. Queen e7 check. King c3. Queen f6 check. King d2. Queen d4 check. King e2. Queen e5 check. King f2. Queen d4 check. King g2. Queen d5 check. King h2. Black is aiming to play pawn promotes to queen at b1 and establish a winning position. Pawn f5 played by white. Queen e2 check. Queen f3. Queen takes f3 check. King takes f3. Pawn promotes to queen at b1. Black is setting up to play queen takes f5 check and establish a winning position. King f4. Black has a decisive advantage. Let's go to the next game. Black made a move. Queen a6. Pause the video to analyze white's next move. Queen takes a6. Pawn takes a6. King f3. Pawn f5. King e3. White is preparing to play. Pawn f4. King f6. King d4. King e6. King c5. King e7. King b6. King d7. King b7, and secure a stronghold in the game. King f7 move preferred by black. King d4. King e6. King c5. White might go for pawn f4. King e7. King b6. King d6. King takes a6 and secure a stronghold in the game. King f6 move preferred by black. King b6. Pawn f4. King takes a6. Pawn takes g3. Pawn takes g3. King f5. King b5. King g4. Pawn a6. White is aiming to play pawn a7. King f5. Pawn promotes to queen at 8 and gain a significant edge. Pawn g5 move preferred by black. Pawn takes g5. King takes g5. King c4. White considers playing King d4. Pawn h4. Pawn takes h4 check and sees the initiative. King g4 was chosen by black. King d3. Pawn h4. Pawn takes h4. King h5. White has a decisive advantage. Let's go to the next game. White played Queen d3. Pause the video and try to find black's next move. Queen takes d3 check. Pawn takes d3. King a5. King takes g4. Pawn c5. King f4. Pawn b4. Pawn d4. Pawn takes a3. Pawn takes c5. King b5. Pawn c6. King takes c6. King e4. King d6. Black's idea is to play King e6. King f4. Pawn a2. King g5. Pawn promotes to queen at a1 and increase their advantage significantly. King f5 was chosen by white. King d5. Black wants to play pawn a2. King f4. Pawn promotes to queen at a1 and increase their advantage significantly. King f4 was chosen by white. King e6. King e4. King f6. Black is aiming to play King g5. King d4. Pawn a2. King d3. King f4 and take decisive advantage. King e3 move preferred by white. King f5. Black is setting up to play King g4. King d4. Pawn a2. King d5. King g3 and dominate the board. King f3 played by white. On a2. On g4 check. King e5. On g5. On promotes to queen at a1. On g6 black is clearly ahead. Let's go to the next game. White just played. Queen c8 check. Pause the video to find out black's response. King b2. Queen b7 check. King c2. Queen e4 check. King d1. Queen a4 check. Queen c2. Queen d4 check. Queen d2. Black is aiming to play queen takes d4 and put immense pressure on the opponent. Queen a7 move preferred by white. Queen d6 check. On f4. White is planning to play queen takes a2 and dominate the board. Queen d2 played by black. Black intends to play queen c3 check. King g4. On promotes to queen at a1. Queen takes a1 check. Queen takes a1 and take decisive advantage. Queen a3 played by white. King e2. Queen f3 check. King e1. Black's idea is to play pawn promotes to queen at a1 and secure a stronghold in the game. Queen a3 was chosen by white. King f1. Black is planning to play queen e1 check. King f3. On promotes to queen at a1. Queen takes a1. Queen takes a1 and take decisive advantage. King h3 played by white. King g1. Black considers playing queen d7 check. King h4. Queen h7 check. King g4. Queen g7 check. King f5. On promotes to queen at a1. Queen takes a1 check. Queen takes a1 and put immense pressure on the opponent. On g3 move preferred by white. Queen c2. Queen e3 check. Queen f2. Queen c1 check. Queen f1 check. Queen takes f1 check. King takes f1. King g4. On promotes to queen at a1. Black is planning to play queen f6. King f3. Queen e6. On f5. Queen takes f5 check and gain a significant edge. King f5. White has no response. Let's go to the next game. Black just played queen c4. Pause the video and try to find white's next move. Queen f6. White is looking to play on h6. King e8. On h7. Queen b4. On promotes to queen at h8 check and sees the initiative. On e5 played by black. Queen h8 check. King e7. Queen takes e5 check. King d7. Queen f6. On d4. On h6. White intends to play on h7. Queen c6. Queen takes d4 check and put immense pressure on the opponent. Queen d5 played by black. King g3. White considers playing on h7. Queen d6 check. Queen takes d6 check. King takes d6. On promotes to queen at h8 and take decisive advantage. Queen h5 move preferred by black. Queen takes d4 check. King e6. Queen g4 check. Queen takes g4 check. On takes g4. King f6. Black is planning to play on b4. King h4. King g6. On h7. King takes h7 and increase their advantage significantly. King f2 was chosen by white. King g6. Black considers playing, king takes h6 and seized the initiative. Pawn g5 was chosen by white. White is looking to play king e2, pawn b4, king d3, and put immense pressure on the opponent. Pawn f5 move preferred by black. King e3. White considers playing king d4, pawn f4, king c5, king takes g5, pawn h7, and increase their advantage significantly. Pawn b4 move preferred by black. King d4. White's idea is to play king c4, pawn b3, king takes b3, and secure a strong hold in the game. Pawn b3 played by black. King c3. White is looking to play king takes b3 and increase their advantage significantly. King takes g5 move preferred by black. Pawn h7. King f4. Pawn promotes to queen at h8. White considers playing queen h4 check. King e5. King takes b3 and dominate the board. King g3. Black is on the verge of defeat. Let's go to the next game. Black just played king e4. Pause the video and try to predict white's next move. Queen e7 check. King f3. Queen f6 check. King e2. King g2. Queen c8. Queen f1 check. King d2. King g1. Queen d7. Queen f2 check. King c3. Pawn a6. Pawn g5. Pawn a7. White considers playing queen e1 check. King b3. Queen e3 check. King b4. Pawn promotes to queen at 8 and gain a significant edge. Queen d5 was chosen by black. Pawn takes g5. Pawn h5. Pawn g6. Pawn h4. Pawn g7. Queen g5 check. King f1. Queen b5 check. King g2. Queen g5 check. King h3. White is setting up to play pawn promotes to queen at 8 and establish a winning position. Queen takes g7 move preferred by black. Queen f3 check. King c2. Queen g2 check. Queen takes g2 check. King takes g2. Pawn h3 check. King takes h3. King b3. Black's loss is confirmed. Let's go to the next game. White just played queen c6. Pause the video to figure out black's next move. Queen takes c6. Pawn takes c6. King d6. Black is looking to play king takes c6 and put immense pressure on the opponent. Pawn f4 played by white. Pawn g4. Pawn e5 check. Pawn takes e5. Pawn f5. White wants to play pawn f6. King takes c6. Pawn f7. Pawn b5. Pawn promotes to queen at f8. Pawn takes a4. Queen e8 check and put immense pressure on the opponent. King takes c6 was chosen by black. King f2. King d6. King e3. King d5. King d3. Pawn e4 check. King e3. King e5. Black is planning to play king takes f5 and put immense pressure on the opponent. Pawn f6 move preferred by white. White is aiming to play pawn f7. King d5. Pawn promotes to queen at f8 and put immense pressure on the opponent. King takes f6 played by black. King takes e4. King e6. King f4. Pawn b5. Black might go for pawn takes a4 and seize the initiative. Pawn takes b5 was chosen by white. Pawn a4. King takes g4. On a3. Black might go for. On a2. On b6. On promotes to queen at a1 and gain a significant edge. On b6 played by white. King d6. King f4. On a2. Black intends to play. Pawn promotes to queen at a1 and seize the initiative. King f3 move preferred by white. King c6. King e4. King takes b6. King f5. King c6. Black is setting up to play. King d5. King f6. King e4. King g6. King e5. King f7. Pawn promotes to queen at a1 and seize the initiative. King e6 played by white. Pawn promotes to queen at a1. Black is aiming to play. Queen e1 check. King f5. Queen takes g3 and put immense pressure on the opponent. King f5. Black is in a commanding position. Let's go to the next game.